Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Business Podcast, your source for all things business. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today is a very special reunion 2020 episode. What is that? That's when I had a guest on in the past, and I liked them so much I had to invite them right on back. So today's special return guest is Merel Kriegsman, and she's the CEO and owner over at Merel Kriegsman Media. Merel, welcome back to the show.
I'm so happy to be here again.
All right, so it's been so long, and I'm excited to get into today's topic. So how to launch a high-ticket group program like a Minimalist. I'm excited to get into that with you, but before we do, I don't want to assume that all of our new listeners caught your first episode. So let's just start off with talking a little bit more about what you're doing over at Merel Kriegsman Media. Tell us a little bit more about the company, please.
For sure. So my business is really focused on helping women, especially, make lots of money. Because there's really, something that shifts quite dramatically in our world when, the women that, are perhaps raised in a way that makes them, almost like expect to give their labor away for free or for a minimal sort of return, when those women truly step into charging what they are worth and become very successfully financially, it's so inspiring for their families, what they're able to have, the quality of life, and seeing really the changes that they want to see in the world. So very, very enthusiastic about that. I support them, I mentor them in their businesses, and help them, like I said, create lots of money, lots of revenue. Very, very profitable businesses is what we're after.
That's awesome. And at the end of this, I'm going to give you the opportunity to leave, of course, your website or your contact info for people that want to follow up and learn more. But so that the right types of individuals connect with you, what's typically the right fit for to work with you and your team?
Oh yeah, for sure. So the women that I love to work with are already experts in their own right. Right? So they've studied something or they have, proven themselves in a certain area, and they know that they can help their clients, but they're stuck in that place of under-earning, right, and undercharging, which is usually has a very direct link to one another, and overworking, right? So they're like the type of woman that really loves to over-deliver and really cares very, very deeply about their clients' results. And they just, for some reason, can't get themselves out of this cycle where, they're fully booked and they're delivering on their promises. And then all of a sudden, they realize like, oh, I've run out of clients, or, I've forgotten to market my own business. Or it's all about taking what they know and taking what they have to offer and helping them position that in a beautiful, like high ticket way, so that with every client they can bring in, $5,000 or even $15,000 or $50,000 per client, and focus on less individuals, but serve them at a higher level. Basically, is what I help them do, and that way they see like a massive breakthrough financially, which is really what we're after.
That's awesome. And I think that's a great transition. So how to launch a high-ticket group program like the Minimalist. I mean, it's a great topic. Where do you want to start with this one?
Yeah, for sure. So I've been launching for, a couple of years. Like I have a high-ticket group program myself where I mentor women in business and help them, become extremely successful financially and really hone in on what it is that they want to do and build a business around what they love rather than, what they think they should be doing. And we have lots of fun in there. It's great. I launch it a couple of times a year. And but now, this year, so in the last 12 months, I've been pregnant and I had a baby. And so I was looking at, okay, how can I still...
Did I know that? I don't think I knew that. First off, congrats there. Let's not just glance right over that. By the way, I just had a baby. Drop that on us. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. That's my third one. Like, I know the drill by now. And it's like, I love experimenting when it comes to like marketing and sort of looking at, okay, what is really necessary to bring in the money, and how can I strip away anything that's not really necessary, because I don't have time for that, right? Like that's the point I'm making. It's like when you have like young kids and we like live on a farm and we run our business, and there's just so much to do, right? Like my plate is very, very full, which is beautiful. I love it, but it's also like I have to really not spend my time in ways that doesn't bring any money. So I was looking at my like the launches I've done in the past, and like I nurture my people organically. I have tried Facebook ads once, and spend a large amount of money, like over $50,000, and didn't quite pan out for me. So it was I got a little gun shy when it came to paid traffic, and eventually I'll go into that. But for now, I just nurture all my people organically. I have them in a Facebook group. I nurture them with emails on my list. And so I was really wondering, like, how can I double down on the strategies that I know I can execute well on? And I think this is a really important takeaway. It's like when you look at your business and where your clients come from, before you move into another strategy or another, whatever, how can you double down on the things that are already working for you? So I knew one thing that I'm really good at, was nurturing people organically, right? Like they're on my list, they're in my Facebook group, they usually follow me on Instagram, and I just like shower them with incredible content. And so I was like, okay, what can I do to absolutely not get in a situation, where in my former launches, I had like usually like a 2-week period where I had to do 40, 50 sales calls to fill my program. This round, I was like, I can't do that with like a baby on my boob. It's not going to happen. It's too much all at once. How can I be like hyper strategic? So what I did is I decided in September last year that I would send my list about 3 emails every week. Now, that I have a background as a copywriter, so my emails are really good, right? Like they're very, very engaging, beautiful storytelling. They're like a huge value add. It's like, it's really, but something that I have, right? Like this is an asset in my business simply because I have so much experience with that. So decided to do 3 emails a week and really like double down on emails. And I did that. And then my people were so incredibly already indoctrinated and nurtured. And that's really like a fantastic way to fill a high ticket group program. So many people, they start thinking about like helping their audience see the value of what they offer when they are launching or when they are starting to launch. And you can do most of the sort of like convincing work when it comes to you as a brand and your offers and what you stand for, like long before you actually start launching something. So by the time I send an email to my list saying, hey, I'm opening up, 10, 15 spots for an early bird offer where people could already step into my program, because I just wanted to fill my program, right? Like already to a certain extent before the baby was coming. So I did that, and it easily filled all those spots. It was so amazing. They were so nurtured already, but there was very, very little I needed to do in order to make those initial, 10, 15 sales. So that was the first thing I did. And then I just kept sort of diversifying my strategy. So I had that early bird. Then behind the scenes, people would book sales calls, right? Because I'm marketing myself. People notice that I'm selling something, so they would book themselves in for a sales call. Very simple process, just being present and nurturing people, like I said. And basically what I did is that behind the scenes, for everybody that booked a sales call, I would sell them into that specific program. So by the time I was like launching my my challenge, which was going to be like the kickoff of my official launch, I had already sold 70% of the spots in my program, right? And this was fantastic because now I needed to only do like a couple of little things to top it off, basically, like the amount of people, rather than having to start from scratch and have all the stress and all the pressure of needing to fill all those spots within a very short amount of time. So I did only what was needed, but like spread it out over a period of time, had multiple strategies where I had and the early bird, and I had like the sort of open enrollment behind the scenes. And then I did a challenge and just sort of like continuing to nurture people after that as well with some bonus webinars and stuff like that. And I sold it out like weeks before the start of the program. And it was just like the kind of thing that I could have done, for myself, right? And my new baby and the family and how everything shifted also with COVID-19 and the pressure of that with like no childcare. And I was really thinking I wanted to talk about that with you today because it's like this is the way of the future, right? Like where you can launch something extremely successfully, but you can do it in a way that doesn't burn you out. It doesn't put like a ton of pressure on you in that moment to fill it and it just keeps you sane. So that's what I did. That's what happened.
I love it. And one of the main things that I love about this is that, number one, you've been doing this for years. So this isn't like you just woke up one day and decided to do this. Like you're number two, you're an expert at this, and you've been providing value to your audience, and you've been really nurturing them. I think sometimes people maybe get discouraged because maybe they try something once and it doesn't work. But I'd like you to kind of elaborate that you've been nurturing and you've been providing value for a long time. That gives you the right to do a lot of the things you did. Because most people, I'm just throwing this out there, if most people just started doing 3 emails a week to people, they're going to just unsubscribe, especially if it's not done well, it's not telling good stories like in the manner, and they're not putting the kind of work that you're putting into that. Like that'd be excessive. But if you're really mastering that, and if you're providing a lot of value, then people are excited to open your emails.
They are like, when people are sort of like online talking about like, okay, what are the 3 email lists that you love? Like I often get mentioned, right? And I can just quickly, like I have a great formula for creating content that people love and it actually converts people over time. And so just like picture like a simple triangle. And at each corner of the triangle, it has a word. So the first word in like the top bottom, left-hand corner, it says consistency. So people love it when you show up consistently. This is how they get to know you, right? Like when you think of know, like, and trust, consistency is how they get to know you. Then on the other sort of like the right bottom corner of the triangle, it says personality. This is how people get to like you, right? Like fall in love with you and your brand. So for example, instead of just talking about business, I had an incredible 3-part series about all like the birth stories of my daughters, right? Like it's extremely intimate. It was like really, really beautiful. And it's not for everyone, but the people on my list, they love that. They totally, they really, they dig it, right? Like, and this is the thing, you need to find out what you love to share and what your audience would love to receive. I mean, I got so many responses to that, right? And like officially, does it have to do with business? No, but the way I tied it together was that the future is female in our house because I have 3 daughters, and that ties into the women wealth advocacy. So there's always ways to tie it back into what you do. So, and then the top corner of that triangle says credibility. So share success stories of your clients, show that you're walking your talk, share in-depth case studies, screenshots, testimonials, all the things, right? And when you do those 3 things, people fall in love with your content. It's truly, more becoming almost like a magazine style sort of way of showing up where it's not just about you and your craft, but also who are you as a person? What kind of what is your favorite drink? Where do you love to hang out when you have time off? What are some of your other passion projects that you have on the go? This is what people want to see these days in order to feel, like, hey, I want to buy from this person. It's really not just about, giving great tips. It's not just about information. It's about connection. People just really, really crave connection, especially if you're selling things at a higher price point. That intimacy and like beautiful curation of things that will inspire your audience is what makes you their daily fix, right? That makes them like seek you out. Like when they have those like couple of minutes, you know, on the toilet, like each day, they have a moment to pull out their phone, like they will look you up and see if you have posted something new. Like currently I have this obsession with this baker from Cardiff who, like, it's called Memoirs of a Baker, and it's like, you know, everything about making your own sourdough stuff and bonbons. And I just, every single time I have a minute, I'm on his Instagram you know, account just to see what else he has posted. And that's how it works, and that's what you want, because then when you are launching and people are already like totally addicted to what you put out there, they're totally absorbed in your and part of your launch emails as well, because it's, for them, it's business as usual. What else does she have, or what else does he have? And then all of a sudden they're faced with this phenomenal offer that they want to be a part of as well, that they want to buy. So that's how you do that.
Man, that is awesome. I think you taught in 10, 15, however long we've been on this, you taught a master class on launching high ticket sales items and and content. Now you're amazing. That was quick. So Merel, that being said, we're about out of time for this episode, and don't worry, I'm going to be bugging you next year to bring you back on the show for our second reunion episode, because this was awesome. If somebody wants to connect to learn more about about what you're doing, I mean, what's the best way for them to do that and to follow your content?
Yeah, for sure. So definitely become a part of my Facebook group. It's a free Facebook group. I hang out there like all the time. I post lots of great like cues to make you you know, prompts basically to make you think about wealth in a new way and see that it's possible for you and how to access it and all that stuff. So the free Facebook group is called Create Your Money Vortex. Come and join me there, and then you can always go to my website. It's merelkriegsman.com, and hop on my famous email list and get all the incredible content in your own email inbox. So, yeah, come and join me, and I'll become your daily fix in no time for sure, guaranteed.
Fantastic. Well, Merel, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about all the great things that you're doing. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store. And if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Business, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave some comments on the video. Love to know what kind of projects and things that you're working on. And Merel, thanks again for coming on the show.